Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I'm Karen. Today we are looking at part one of Do Animals Experience Emotions Like Us? That's an interesting question.
Well, we are animals, right?
We are.
So we're talking about non-human animals.
That's right. Well, I can't speak for all animals, but I know for a fact that, cats and dogs definitely experience emotions.
Yes, my cats are so moody.
Really?
Oh my goodness, yeah. My cat's getting a bad mood all the time, and I can really tell, like, if I don't feed my cat and it's hungry and it wants to eat and I don't feed him, he'll really give me attitude.
What kind of attitude does he give you?
Just the way that he looks at me, he's like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, wow. So I guess my cat is a little bit better when she's hungry and she just goes around like, meow, meow, meow. So I was like, oh, okay.
Wow, you're good
I
at
guess
that.
you're really hungry. Either she's hungry or she wants water or she wants me to clean her cat litter.
Yeah, and I think the dogs are very emotive. They really show their emotions.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
When a dog is happy, you know it is happy. When it's
and
sad,
wagging the tail. But when it's sad, it's very obvious. It's like they're crying, like.
Yeah. So yes, of course they have emotions. So do we even need to do this article?
No, but then I think we're not only talking about cats and dogs. Maybe there are other animals too that experience emotions.
Well, they probably all do.
Yep. Well, I don't know about that.
Well, let's find out.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Okay.
Many scientists agree that animals feel emotions just like humans. Although there is debate about how they experience them, observed behavior suggests that animals experience things like happiness, sadness, anxiety, and excitement.
Okay, so part one of Do Animals Experience Emotions Like Us? And I think we already know the answer, but we're still going to go ahead and go through this article because I bet we're going to learn some really interesting facts.
That's right. A lot of interesting animals too, right? I mean, we know a lot about dogs and cats, right? Because
we own them.
Exactly. Okay, so let's dive into it. Many scientists agree that animals feel emotions just like humans. Although there is debate about how they experience them. Observed behaviors suggest that animals experience things like happiness, sadness, anxiety, and excitement. So it's not just happiness and sadness. There's like a whole wide range of emotions.
Yeah, and I think like things like we could say excitement, it's so obvious to see excitement, right?
Yes.
But things like anxiety might be a little bit more difficult to observe.
You're right. You might have to be very, very observant in order to observe their emotions.
Okay, so we have observe here as a verb, and then you said observant, to be observed as an adjective, right? So as a verb, to observe means to see or notice something or somebody.
That's right.
Right? And especially like if you're really paying attention to that thing to try to get some information. So for example, you could say the prisoner is extremely dangerous and should be observed at all times.
So he should be carefully looked at all times because he might do something really dangerous to other people, right?
Right. So have you ever observed a behavior that you thought was like really kind of like surprised you about a cat or dog that you've owned?
Well,
I remember you told me once before that you walked your cat. You took your cat to like a park or something?
Bad idea. The worst idea ever. Because I owned a dog before. So, I kind of just realized, I was like, hey, I've never walked my cat. So I was like, this is exciting.
So if I were on the side and I observed what was going on, what was your cat doing?
Well, my cat was super scared, and the cat was trying to find a place to hide, running away from the open area. Before I was just thinking, hey, let's have a picnic and then just enjoy the open area and the grass. But the cat was so scared. I first, my cat was staying in my bag the whole time. And I was like, no, come on out. It's fun. Enjoy the whole park. And then once I grabbed her and then, took her out, and she was like really, really scared. She tried to run to different places, like in the bushes.
To get away, to escape. Whereas a dog wants to really go and play, a cat just wants to hide.
Exactly. They don't really like to be walked.
Right, their behaviors are quite different, right?
I learned my lesson. So behavior is our next vocabulary word, and that is a noun. So a behavior just basically means the way a person or an animal, a plant, a chemical, etc. behaves or functions in a particular situation, like how they act, right? So for example, by 6 months, babies can already display a wide range of behaviors. And that is right. They can do many, many different things by 6 months.
Right. Yeah. Okay, continuing with our vocabulary, we have anxiety.
That's right.
Okay, so anxiety is the state of feeling nervous or worried that something bad is going to happen.
That's right. And the adjective for that is anxious, right? You may feel anxious.
To be anxious, right? So for example, Brett is feeling some anxiety about his job interview tomorrow.
So he's like a little bit nervous and worried about what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, so I do notice, I think anxiety is something you can usually tell if somebody is anxious or if an animal is anxious. I think it's quite similar to being afraid, right? Because if you're basically to be anxious, it means you're afraid that something bad is going to happen.
That's right.
And so you can notice that with cats. You take your cat out to outside into a park, it's going to be really scared about what might happen. Right?
That's right. And then another thing that I learned my lesson already, not to do it again, is to have a cat party. Because I was like, oh, wow, I have a cat, and my friends, they all have cats. So how about we bring all the cats together and let's party? We love to party, right?
Yes.
But then the minute that they brought their cats into my house, and all the cats got so angry. And they're just like, each one of them, or they were just like staying in their own separate corners and going, hissing. Yes, they were like, and then they were just like not happy.
Sounds pretty much like the worst party ever.
Yeah, so don't have cat parties. They don't really get along with each other.
Okay. All right, well, we'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back with, I think, whales.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I want to learn about
learning about whales.
Okay.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。同学们认为动物们会跟我们一样有情绪吗？我想大多数有养宠物的人都会认为答案是肯定的。那么许多科学家都同意动物会跟人类一样能感受情绪。从它们身上观察到的行为，意味着动物可以体验到快乐、悲伤、焦虑，还有兴奋等等的情绪。我们先来看单字 observe。observe 它是表达观察、观测或是监视。我们补充一下它的相关词性是 observant， 在 去掉之后再加上 ant 这个字尾，那可以构成形容词来形容是观察力敏锐的。那下一个单字 behavior 它是名词，表示行为举止。Anxiety 这个名词则是指焦虑不安或是忧虑，它的形容词是 anxious， 可以形容是焦虑的、忧虑的或是急切的。Karen 老师刚刚聊到说，举办猫咪派对是个烂点子，猫咪们聚在一起，应该整个都快抓狂了吧？它们可能会一直就是发出那种嘶嘶声。我们学一下 hiss 这个动词就可以表达发出嘶嘶声。好，接着回到课文中。
Whales. Whales are quite intelligent and can express grief. In 2018, an orca mother was seen dragging her dead child around for weeks as she mourned its death. Another example shows that whales can have sympathy for other species. Humpback whales have been observed fighting with orcas to protect seals. They keep the seals out of harm's way by lifting them out of the water on their chests or backs. Elephants. When an older elephant passes away, its family often stays by the body for a long time, and members will gently touch the dead elephant's body. This behavior indicates that elephants are capable of expressing sadness. And like whales, elephants show sympathy by engaging in protective behavior toward other animals. For example, they're known to guard people from predators in the wild. Rats. In one experiment, a group of rats who had experienced electric shocks froze when they saw another group getting shocked. The behavior was determined to be an empathetic response as the rats became uncomfortable when seeing others suffer.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were talking about some animals that can express their feelings, like dogs and cats. They can express like a whole wide range of emotions, like happiness, sadness, excitement, etc., right?
Right.
But right now, we're going to learn about other animals expressing their emotions, and not just dogs and cats.
Cool. So let's start off with whales.
All right, I love whales.
So whales are quite intelligent and can express grief.
Wow.
So yeah, we do hear that elephants, not elephants, whales are very intelligent, right? Dolphins, whales. From what we understand, they seem to be like almost as intelligent as people, but just in a different environment.
That's right.
Right? So they can feel grief. So grief is basically a very sad feeling, especially when somebody dies.
That's right.
And you feel grief. So, for example, you can say, after her partner died, Emily almost went crazy from grief.
So it's the kind of feeling that you have, but when you lose somebody, right?
Yeah.
Usually.
And that level of sadness is like nothing else. You could really see why Emily would go crazy from that, because you feel like you're never going to feel happy again.
So it really takes some time. I do believe that time heals all wounds, right?
Oh, that's a good saying. Time heals all wounds. Continuing, in 2018, an orca mother was seen dragging her dead child around for weeks as she mourned its death.
Aw, that is so sad. So orca is kind of like the killer whale,
Yeah,
right?
so we also call it a killer whale.
Like the black and white ones, they're really, really beautiful.
Right, so, oh my gosh, it was mourning for its death, like carrying it around like for weeks. So if you mourn, that just means to basically
sad.
to feel grief for a death.
No,
right? Wow.
and dragging the child around for a long time, for a couple of weeks.
That's so sad just to
I
think
feel
about.
sad even just to, listening to that. Okay, so another example shows that whales can have sympathy for other species. So species is our next vocabulary word. That is a noun. So basically species is a group of living things that can mate.
Right.
So when I say mate, that just means make babies together. Right. Okay, and for example, there are more than 11,000 bird species. That means like 11,000 different types of birds, right?
Right. Okay, so.
Okay, let's continue with our article. Humpback whales have been observed fighting with orcas to protect seals. Wow.
So they're actually trying to
protect other animals.
Another species, right?
Exactly. I didn't know that. Okay, so they keep the seals out of harm's way by lifting them out of the water on their chests or backs. So this is how they protect the seals, because they know that if they don't, maybe the orcas or the killer whales might eat them or kill them.
So to keep them out of harm's way means another way of saying keeping them out of danger.
That's right, to keep them safe, right?
Okay, so that's whales. How about elephants? All right, elephants. When an older elephant passes away, its family often stays by the body for a long time, and members will gently touch the dead elephant's body.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. They're probably touching with their nose, right?
With their trunk.
Trunk, not actually a nose. Wow, so they're kind of touching it, I guess, to say goodbye, right?
Exactly. Or maybe they're trying to say that I don't want you to go, and I feel sad that you're not here anymore. It's just like us humans.
Totally. This behavior indicates that elephants are capable of expressing sadness.
Wow. This level of, emotions, it's like something that I never imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah, from animals. Okay, so like whales, elephants show sympathy by engaging in protective behavior toward other animals.
Ooh.
For example, they're known to guard people from predators in the wild.
Yeah, I have heard that.
So they guard people from predators in the wild. Guard people, that means they
Protecting
people.
them. Like a guard, right, is somebody who like protects something.
That's right.
And to guard just means to protect somebody from something. In this case, we're talking about predators.
That's right.
So we have predators and we have prey. So a predator is somebody who wants to attack and
Hunt
and kill something, usually for food.
That's right.
And the prey is the thing that's being hunted, being chased, and doesn't want to get eaten by the predator. Okay, continuing. Now we have rats. Okay, in one experiment, a group of rats who had experienced electric shocks froze when they saw another group getting shocked. No way.
Wow, I didn't know that. So the behavior was determined to be an empathetic response as the rats became uncomfortable when seeing others suffer.
Wow, right. So an empathetic response. So empathy is the ability to understand another person's feelings, experiences, etc. It's almost like you can feel it as if it's happening to you.
That's right.
And in this example, it's so empathetic that they literally see another rat get shocked and they freeze, just like they were shocked themselves.
Wow. There's so many interesting facts about these animals that I didn't know about.
That's so insane. Yeah, I think the more and more we study animals and really start to understand their differences, we're going to see how much alike we are.
Exactly.
Right?
And we can really be friends with these animals too, right?
Yeah.
So we learned so many interesting facts about these animals and how they are able to express their emotions in different ways.
Yeah, I think they have me convinced so far. I was already convinced that animals can feel emotions, but now I am thoroughly convinced.
Yeah, same here. Well, there's also part 2 though, so we'll be learning more.
I can't wait.
好，首先来看看鲸鱼这种动物，它们相当聪明，而且会表达悲伤。在2018年，就有人看到一头虎鲸妈妈拖着死去的孩子好几个星期来哀悼它的死亡。那此外，鲸鱼也会同情其他物种。人们就有观察到，座头鲸为了保护海豹来跟这个虎鲸对抗，他们会用胸部或背部把海豹抬出水面，让它们不受伤害。好，我们先补充一下文中的 orca 就是虎鲸，它又称为 killer whale 就是杀人鲸。那么单字 grief 它是名词，表示悲伤、哀痛。species 或是念作 species 则是用来指动植物的物种种。那注意这个单字它的单复数同形哦。再来补充单字 mourn 就是指哀悼、悼念，它是当动词来用。好，课文接着写到说，大象也能够表达悲伤，而且跟鲸鱼一样，大象是透过对其他动物做出保护行为来表达同情。像是大家都知道，他们会保护人们来免于受到野外掠食者的侵害。那这边补充一下 ，predator 就是掠食性动物或是掠夺者。老师们说的 prey 就表示猎物或是被捕食的动物。再来下一个段落呢，谈到老鼠。在一项实验中，一组经过电击的老鼠看到另一组老鼠受到电击时，它们会僵住。那这种行为就被判定是一种同理反应，因为老鼠看到其他老鼠受苦时会变得不舒服。那文中用到这个 empathetic 是形容同情的、有同理心的、产生共鸣的。那它的名词是 empathy 表示同感、共鸣。好，这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 harm's way， 是指危险的地方或是处境。Out of harm's way 可以表达离开险境，在安全的地方。那么相反的 in harm's way 则是表达身处险境。我们以下介绍几种常见搭配用法。你可以用 keep 什么什么 out of harm's way 来表达使什么远离危险，使什么在安全的地方。那还可以用 stay out of harm's way 来表达远离危险。还有呢，你可以用 put 什么什么 in harm's way 来表达置什么于险境之中。好，来看个例句。It's natural for parents to keep their children out of harm's way. 父母让小孩远离危险，这是很自然的事。 好，第二个重点是 engage in 加上名词或动名词呢，是表达从事、参与什么什么。举例来说 ，Ian rarely engages in social activities. Ian 很少参与社交活动。那比较一个用法，如果我们是用 be engaged in 加上名词或动名词，则表示忙于什么什么。像 Amy is engaged in writing her new book.Amy 正忙于写新书。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Many scientists agree that animals feel emotions just like humans. Although there is debate about how they experience them, observed behavior suggests that animals experience things like happiness, sadness, anxiety, and excitement. Whales are quite intelligent and can express grief. In 2018, an orca mother was seen dragging her dead child around for weeks as she mourned its death. Another example shows that whales can have sympathy for other species. Humpback whales have been observed fighting with orcas to protect seals. They keep the seals out of harm's way by lifting them out of the water on their chests or backs. Elephants. When an older elephant passes away, its family often stays by the body for a long time, and members will gently touch the dead elephant's body. This behavior indicates that elephants are capable of expressing sadness. And like whales, elephants show sympathy by engaging in protective behavior toward other animals. For example, they're known to guard people from predators in the wild. Rats. In one experiment, a group of rats who had experienced electric shocks froze when they saw another group getting shocked. The behavior was determined to be an empathetic response as the rats became uncomfortable when seeing others suffer.
Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Carolyn.
And today we're going to be playing Gues the Bear, where we each have 3 cards with words or phrases on them, and we have to guess what they are, because they've been replaced by the word bear. We have 1 minute on the clock to guess. So, you ready to go first?
I hope so.
All right, well, you don't have a choice, so start that clock. 1 minute. All right, verb, 1 word. Scientists are bearing the panda's behavior. He sat back and said nothing, just bearing. What do you think that verb could be?
Observe?
Yes, that's right. That is a verb and it's 1 word. Noun, 1 word. We are studying the bear of lions in the wild. She got marks for good bear on her report card.
One more time.
We are studying the bear of lions in the wild. She got marks for good bear on her report card. Noun.
Behavior?
Yes, that is right. 2 for 3.
All right.
Last one. Let's do it. Noun, 1 word.
Okay.
This bear of bird builds its nest on the ground. Researchers have discovered a new bear in the rainforest.
Can you read them again?
Sure. This bear of bird builds its nest on the ground. Researchers have discovered a new bear in the rainforest.
Species?
That is correct.
I got it?
Yeah, you got it. You got all 3 right there.
Wow.
That's very well
Oh
done.
my God. It was hard because sometimes bear fit into the sentence as if it would have worked as the word.
Yeah, they do get tricky. Yeah, I want to go now. I want to turn.
All right, let's put a minute on the clock.
Okay.
All right, first one is a noun. His nervousness turned into chronic bear. I have a lot of bear about public speaking.
Could that be anxiety?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
it.
how about that?
All
Let's
right.
get-
Next one is a noun, 1 word. She found a therapist to work through her bear. The whole family was struck by bear after his death.
That could be misery.
Close. She found a therapist to work through her bear. The whole family was struck
Trauma.
by. Let's
No.
go to the next
Okay,
one.
done.
Next one is a phrase, 5 words. She did everything to bear her son, bear, 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 bear. I put up safety fences to bear my pets, bear, 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 bear.
Yeah, I'm just not getting that one.
That was such a hard one.
5 word. What was that?
Okay, the second one was she found a therapist to work through her grief. The whole family was struck by grief after his death. The last one, she did everything to keep her son out of harm's way. I put up safety fences to keep my pets out of harm's way.
All right, well, that makes sense now. I don't know what to make of it.
That's a long one.